Hi, you're listening to the My Reality Says podcast, brought to you by My Therapist Says. We're here to discuss everything pop culture, influencers, blind gossip, and of course, reality TV. We put the T in reality.
On this week's episode, we're going to be talking about BravoCon, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and BlingEmpire. Let's get into it, besties. I'm Gina.
I'm Nicole.
And we're super excited. There's so much that happened on this week's episodes. Go ahead, Nicole. Get us started.
Christmas basically came early. We have BravoCon this weekend. I'm so excited to see what goes down. We're going to get some new announcements. Some new franchises are maybe being announced. We have all the Bravo celebrities interacting. I'm so excited. I actually have a little bit of FOMO that I'm not there, though.
Oh my God. Next time we have to go. I'm obsessed. I can't believe KathyHilton finally got her conga line. I am so happy for her.
Her prayers were finally answered. We're here for it. She looks so happy. Ashley Darby was loving it also. Teresa Giudice. It was the best clip ever.
I think everybody loves her. And I think after, watching this season, everybody just wanted to support her and be like, hey, let's have fun. We're down for a conga line. Why not?
Yeah. I don't know why they were so anti-conga line. Just let Kathy have her fun. Weird that they're not into it.
They were just hating, honestly. There was no reason for that. They were just mean to her for no reason.
So rude. Lisa Rinna was also booed at BravoCon.
I am not surprised.
She kind of asked for it. She was also giving the middle finger to the crowd. I'm like, that's on you.
Okay, last week you said Lisa Rinna is in her villain era. I don't know if she ever got out of it, but she's leaning into it hard this time. She's living for it.
I think she realizes that's her identity now, and she's just going for it full throttle.
She's just running with
villain.
It. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I know you all hate me and I don't care. F you. I'm here. I'm a truth teller.
But is it actually working for her, though? Because there's some rumors that Andy is going to be firing her. He actually was asked that during BravoCon. I saw tonight, and he was kind of just smiling. He didn't really give an answer. But I kind of feel like she won't be asked back. Everybody hates her right now. But at the same time, all the drama revolves around her. So
it's true. There would be no drama without her. It's true.
Exactly.
And I feel like every season, the one that creates the most storylines is the most hated because she just gets on everyone's nerves, whoever it is. And he didn't say I'm not what's going to happen to her. He just said, wait until the rest of the reunion airs. So maybe something's going to redeem her. I don't know.
Are we getting an announcement at the end of the reunion that she's gone? I will be happy. My wishes will be answered. But
honestly, I am tired of her. We need a break. It's too much.
It's too much. And I don't even know if what she's going to do after this. I feel like she'll be freaking out that she's not a housewife. I feel like her whole identity is now being a villain housewife.
Are people still going to be buying her lip kits though?
Was anyone ever buying her lip kit though?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Questionable.
That's amazing. Wait, are they dropping the trailer for Real Housewives of Miami?
On Sunday during the Miami panel. I'm so excited for that. And I know
I cannot wait.
wait.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I've been obsessing over the Miami Housewives. That season that premiered only on Peacock. It was amazing.
I don't know why
there was so much
only
drama.
on Peacock. It should be on regular television. They should be giving that season everything because those girls, they are giving.
Oh, they give the drama. They are bringing it. But I do think it was a test run because I guess the first edition of the show didn't do so well a few years ago. So now they're listen, we're not going to bring you into whatever primetime Bravo. Let's test it out on streaming, see how people like you. And people loved it. They keep requesting it for it to be on Bravo.
People are obsessed. It's way better than any other show that's on Bravo right now. I love Beverly Hills, but I feel like this season. I was a little underwhelmed.
It's draining. They need like some new problems, like some new storylines.
Yeah, I kind of felt the way that I feel about Real Housewives of New York.
Yeah.
And apparently Andy is going to do some announcements this week about Real Housewives of New York. I mean, we've heard the rumors that there's going to be 2 separate shows. One that's going to be the younger influencers and one that's going to be more of the OGs.
Okay, so
I'm
the
wondering
influencer
what's going to happen with that.
So excited. Like, we've obviously heard some hints and some names being dropped. I cannot wait to hear the confirmations because I think that's going to be something new and exciting because, like, we're used to, obviously, older housewives. And I feel like they keep making them, like, a little younger and younger every, like, rendition in every city. So it's, like, really interesting to see, like, someone, like, maybe closer to our age, like, navigating this whole thing.
I agree, but at the same time, I love like the interaction of the young and the old together.
I do.
I think it should just be one show. They get some more younger people, but they keep it just one show. I mean, at the same time, I'm like, I have so many shows to watch. Like, can I really be watching a young version and an old version? Like,
they should mix it up. I don't get the 2 versions. I think it should be one. But I mean, I guess we'll see what they say. But like, speaking of interacting of the generations, Kyle and Crystal at the reunion.
Oh my God. They were just butting heads and the whole like, Crystal's a millennial. I do feel a little bad for Crystal. I mean, I think she's misunderstood. She can't really like articulate herself well. And I think the girls don't bring the same energy towards Crystal, that they don't give the same energy that they're giving Crystal to the other girls, basically.
So that was my question. Are you team Crystal or team Kyle in this interaction?
So I thought the whole 14 Friends drama was actually so stupid. Like, why are we talking about these 14 friends? And why
not? If your 14 friends dropped you, I would want to know the tea. I'd be like, what did she do? Whose husband did she sleep with? Like, what's happening?
But I'm saying, like, Kyle is getting mad, or everybody's getting mad at Crystal for saying, you know, like, the dark thing about the Sutton violated. And not actually saying what she's, like, insinuating that there's something dark, but she's not actually saying it. But meanwhile, Kyle is kind of doing the same thing. She's like, oh, yeah, all of these 14 friends are saying something about you that doesn't have to do with the show, but I won't say it. And on the reunion, she said it, but then they went to commercial, and I was like, well, I'm waiting. And they didn't address it. So,
well, I feel like that's not the same thing. I feel like you're wrong. That's not the same thing because Sutton and Crystal are both on the show. The 14 friends aren't. That's like Beverly Hills neighborhood gossip.
I know, but it keeps being brought up. So if it's going to be a storyline on the show that they keep bringing up, you might as well address it. And the same thing is happening with Eric, or what Lisa Rinna is saying, because she's saying, you know, Kathy is saying all these dark things, but she's not addressing it either. So they're saying this to Crystal, but not to everybody else.
I know. She's like taking a page out of Crystal's playbook. And I do think that like they're just like making it overly dramatic. Like on this, I'm honestly 100% team Kyle because Crystal really bothers me. And I feel like she's so dramatic and she's just trying to make like, you know, something out of nothing. And like as triggered as she might have been, whatever, like either say it or like shut the fuck up. Like, I don't get it. I you're basically at this point making Sutton look so bad unnecessarily while now claiming to be her friend. Like if you were like now friends and liked her now, you'd be like, hey, like actually I was like, you know, upset. I didn't mean it, blah, blah, blah.
I agree. But I mean, I just think they're not giving the same energy to everybody else. It's like kind of unfair. I feel like they're all ganging up on the younger girl, and I feel a little bit bad for her in that sense. And I feel like she really did have a tough time this season with her like eating disorder stuff. And I mean, I feel bad. She confided in Dorit, and Dorit said it
to be fair, Dorit was like, I thought it was fair game because everybody knew.
Like, I know, but she said like more details that she didn't really say on camera to other people. And it did feel like a little bit gossipy is what I thought.
Oh, 100%. But I feel like maybe there is no, if you're like in this big group of friends, right? And like, for example, if I told you something and I didn't want like Lola and Nora to know, I would tell you, hey, between us, like, let me tell you a secret, not like, or like, hey, like, I know I don't like talking about this, but I'm just feel comfortable talking to you. I would appreciate it if you didn't mention it to people. Like that to me would be like, yeah, okay. Like if somebody didn't say that kind of disclaimer, I would be like, hey, we're all friends here. It's fair game to bring it up.
Yeah, but at the same time, the tone that in the way that she brought it up was kind of like, can you believe
she was
this?
spilling the
like,
tea.
Yeah, and kind of gossiping about her, making her like look bad. I don't know. I thought it was like a little insensitive.
It was.
If she was, if she asked Crystal, maybe, I don't know. I thought, that's like a really like sensitive, tough subject where I feel like if you're just going to be blabbing about it, you better have the person's like discreet permission.
Yeah. I get it. I also think Crystal was having a really hard time this season finding a storyline.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean,
at this point, I'm like, why is Crystal there? Like, what is the purpose of Crystal? Because there's no storyline. And her, like, one thing she was trying to go with is that she's a sensitive millennial, which honestly makes me, like, embarrassed of being a millennial because she gets triggered by everything. And I'm like, please, like, stop. How LA can you be? Like, I just, like, can't
she is a little bit dramatic. Like I understand that. I agree with you.
Like, no one said anything, like, offensive or racist or whatever. And she was just trying to, like, push it out of, like, I feel like she just went in there Sutton, being like,
With Sutton, what the comment that Sutton said about the hot tub comment, I was like, okay, that is just like...
that was an awkward comment. Like, it was just like, nobody asked for this. Yeah. It's like, I know what she was trying to say, but she was saying it in such a clunky, like, awkward, older woman way that, like, she was trying
Sutton.
Yeah.
She and, like, always says things a little bit wrong, but I know she doesn't have, like, bad intentions.
Well.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm pretty sure she's not racist. I feel like she, like, didn't mean anything bad by it. But, like, Crystal just went off on her. And I feel like Crystal was just looking for, like, one of these older, out of touch ladies to, like, trigger her. And, like, she just, like, keeps going and, like, finding reasons.
Yeah, no, it is a little bit over the top. I agree. But I do feel for her, just, like, seeing them all gang up on her and they're, like... freaking out about her word usage and, she's really bad at articulating herself. She just like breaks down and cries and I feel like bad for her.
She was crying. And then like it was kind of weird because like they were like, OK, so then you admit what you were saying is like over the top and dramatic and you should have taken it down a notch without like, kind of like making Crystal like Sutton's character like looking so bad. Like you're basically assassinating a character. You're making her seem like she's like this horrible racist person that says dark, terrible things that you can't even repeat. But then it came out that she literally didn't even say anything. It's just the way she felt.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, that's not okay.
Yeah, it was that I thought was not okay. But what was interesting to me is that Sutton was like, me and Crystal have totally like hashed this out. We're clear, we're good, and everybody else was like, no, but you shouldn't be good. Like they wanted to see the drama. It's the same thing as
Kyle and Kathy.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want people to move on because they need something to talk about, obviously. And they need, like, they want someone else to take attention off them. So they're like, hey, Crystal fucked up too. We should gang up on her. It's not just me.
But speaking of Kyle and Kathy, some unseen footage came out where Kyle was saying that she was relieved that Lisa was, bringing this out and talking about how Kathy is, went through a breakdown and that
Kathy.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a little interesting. I didn't really expect Kyle to, not have her sister's back. She seemed.
I did, but not in this sense. I do think she's happy that like Kathy's like quote unquote dark side is getting exposed now because like I think in the clip she said that's what I've been dealing with forever. And in many clips, actually in many of the interviews, she said that this is the side of Kathy I've been dealing with and my family's been dealing with for like many years. So I
Yeah.
feel like their relationship is so complicated and they have so many like feelings and it's just like hot and cold and like there's just years and years of trauma clearly. So
Yeah,
like
I mean, I think they had a bit of a toxic upbringing from what
yeah.
I've heard with Big
Yeah.
Kathy and everything. There's a lot of drama, sister drama always.
And competitiveness.
Yeah. Well, apparently, like Big Kathy used to basically like rank them and tell them like which one is her favorite at the moment, allegedly. So, I mean, that will automatically
Yeah.
create some issues between
And
your
a rivalry.
sisters. Yeah.
It's true. And like, you know, they're all obviously super like obsessed and like miss their mom so much. And like she clearly was like the glue that held them together, I feel. So I feel like
But maybe
without
also
her, but also
the thing that tears
Yes.
them apart.
exactly. But like a lot of like mothers do that. It's like a very toxic common trait, especially when you have like daughters. I find like I've seen that a lot. So
Yeah.
it's just like you can't help but like be obsessed with your mother and want her approval. But then like
Right.
it comes at the expense of kind of competing with your sister, which should never happen in the perfect world.
Yeah, and I think Kyle grew up actually
Mm-hmm.
being like the sister that wasn't in the spotlight as much, you know.
'Cause she's the youngest, too.
Yes, yeah,
I mean, Kathy had her amazing marriage and like, you know, marrying well. And then Kim was like a movie star. So
exactly.
I
So
can see.
Kyle was kind of just like maybe shafted in that sense, but
I feel like now she's living her best life and she's like, hey,
Yeah.
look at me. I'm successful now.
Exactly.
I have an amazing family. Like, you know, I'm your equal. And I feel like maybe
But I
she
wonder-
feels like people don't view her as that.
I wonder if she gets jealous that Kathy is now like the favorite on the show, that everybody's like obsessed with all of Kathy's like jokes. And, you
Yeah.
know, she was like a fan favorite when
Kathy
she came.
steals the moment every time.
Yeah. So I wonder
I
if
don't feel like
Kyle's
she
like
tries.
getting a little bit of that jealousy back, and maybe that
Yeah.
feeds into the drama too.
I do feel like there's like so much unseen footage. And honestly, I wish there was a show like just keeping up with the Richards sisters because like
Oh my
that
God.
would be amazing. Like
I mean,
there's
like,
way
I
more
feel like-
drama there.
I feel like every day it's a different thing with them.
Yeah.
Like even on social media, you hear, you know, Kathy saying we're good. Then you hear Kyle saying we haven't talked in the last month or two. And it's just like you're getting all these different sides of the stories.
Yes.
And I'm like, what's going on? Are you guys good or not?
Did you see the comments they were making on each other's posts where Kathy was like, I don't know why she's crying. I was the one like victimized and bullied for 10 months. And then Kyle was like, I don't think you want me to say why I'm crying. You know why I'm crying.
Yeah,
like,
and then, I
"Ooh."
mean, we saw the clip of the end of the reunion, and that did not look like it ended well between them. So, I mean, I'm so excited to see what happens next week. It looks like it's going to be insane.
I do
The
hope
fact
Kathy
that
comes
Kyle...
back.
Oh, yeah, same. I think she will. I mean, it's crazy to think that she's just a friend of, and there's so much drama around her, and she brought so much just being a friend of. So I'd be surprised if they didn't bring her back.
She's got that queen energy, honestly.
Yes. The best commentary and just like overall iconic behavior.
She's just like a comedic relief also. Like the hunky-dory
Yeah.
thing was hilarious. Like everything she says is so ridiculous, but that it's so funny, but also like harmless. And like, you're like, how are you real? Like, I love you.
I want to hang out with you.
Exactly. Like she would just be such a good time. And
100%.
okay, who is your best dressed at the reunion and who's your like worst? I don't know.
Okay, so I just have to say I was not impressed with the reunion fashion this year. I
No.
mean, I think they all look like they're going to different events. Where was the theme? I don't understand. But I would say my favorite dress would be Dorit, and my least favorite would definitely be Kyle's outfit. I don't know what was going on there with like the lame and the buckles.
Yeah.
I was not
I
into
don't
it. It
like
looked
that.
really cheap.
Also, I am kind of partial to Kyle's brunette hair. Like, I just like don't really love her with highlights. I feel like she's just such a beautiful, like, you know,
I agree.
like hot brunette that like I just don't think she needs to. Like, her hair is such a big part of who she is, and like it's such a signature for her that I just like don't love when she changes it.
Same. I completely agree. Her hair is like so healthy and shiny
Yeah,
and like
it's
long.
like goals.
Yeah. I completely agree.
I
did love Dorit's hair look.
I loved her hair.
Amazing. That's why I chose her, because I was like, her hair is always amazing at reunions. And
her hair was so good. You don't even pay attention to her outfit. You're just like, I don't care what you're wearing. The hair and the makeup's amazing.
She always brings it, though.
I just think she's so beautiful. I'm obsessed with her. But my favorite, I think, look was Garcelle's. I love that little black dress with like the lace situation here and like the earrings and like it just like was something I would actually wear in real life, and it was like something so nice, and like she wasn't trying hard. It was just like very, I don't know, it was chic. I loved it.
I liked it too.
Honestly, the rest of them were not so memorable. Like, I remember Lisa Rinna's look. I think she looked beautiful, actually. I love the hair. I love the Dolce. Like, she looked beautiful.
I didn't love it. I think she just looks like a cougar mom in it.
She does. But, like, I mean, I prefer anything to her regular haircut. So I love the wig on her.
I love the wigs, yeah.
And I think it's better.
I think she could have done better.
I think it's better than like her like trying to wear the Balenciaga Kim Kardashian things.
Oh,
so like
that is not cute.
No. So to me, I'm just like I think Dolce is way more you. I love it. But I mean, I wouldn't call her my best dress. It was a little boring. So I do think Garcelle looked amazing, and I do think Kyle is probably my worst, which is like normally I love what Kyle wears, but like that dress was such a like loss for me. Like it was just like I feel like the color probably looked amazing in person, but on camera it just like looked weird.
Yeah,
she looked like cheap candy wrapper.
100%. You know what's interesting? We did a poll on My Reality Says who has the best outfit, and actually Crystal won, which I wasn't expecting. I kind of was just a little bored by her outfit.
I don't remember what she was wearing. That's how forgettable it was to me.
Yeah, it was that neon yellow like long sleeve dress.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fine. I was just like, I wouldn't choose it as my favorite.
Crystal's fashion style is not really something that like stands out to me, or that like I ever think about. I never notice what she's wearing, because I don't think she's known for her fashion. I don't think she's a fashion-y girl. I think she looks beautiful all the time. Like, she always looks good, but like it's nothing like crazy memorable, you know, to me.
Yeah, so, which I mean, that's like half the reason why I watch The Housewives is to see like the crazy like fashion, to like have the like glam escapism. Yes. And so I get a little bored sometimes seeing Crystal's outfits.
Yeah, they're like very just like nothing to write home about. They're just like very basic, something like, you know, we would all wear. So I just feel like she's like very understated as a person, like her taste. So I just like don't think, I mean, she does have amazing Birkins, but I feel like her outfits are just like very simple, which on TV is not necessarily memorable compared to everyone else's over the top stuff.
Right.
Okay. So then moving on, because like did we miss anything else that happened? Oh, sorry, Diana and Garcelle.
Oh my gosh.
Tell me your thoughts on that interaction, because that was like insane.
That made me so angry that Diana somehow making it about herself, and you know, she uses her excuse, oh, in my country you don't understand what would happen in my country. This would be a real death threat. So is this not a death threat? What they said they're going to be kneeling on her son's neck. How is that not a death threat? The way she was trying to minimize it and make it about herself when it was about a young black child, I thought was disgusting.
I don't think it's at all comparable to like a war refugee from like, you know, Eastern Europe, whatever. Like they're both traumatic experiences, and they're both like, you know, experiences obviously experienced by like a group of people. But like, it's not your place to just like even talk about it. Like, I don't know.
It was very out of touch. I mean, I think
it was tone deaf.
Yeah. And do we think she's behind the bots? Allegedly, because we don't want to get one of those season exists.
We don't want to get season exists. But I think the only reason why people are so convinced that it's her is because who else would care to stand up for her and be like, leave Diana alone?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think she's that popular. Like, does she have that many fans?
No.
Like, I just like don't think people care. And she just like came on as a bully from the beginning, and she like never stopped. I felt really bad for her during, you know, the fertility miscarriage moments of like, you know, like vulnerability. And I felt so sad for her. And like, obviously it's a traumatizing experience, but like she was still so mean to everyone all the time.
She was evil, like completely
like,
evil.
Unnecessarily.
And the way she was going after
evil.
The way she was going after Garcelle on social media, and I don't know. I also think she fully did not have COVID. The way she was looking fresh as a daisy. She had a glam squad there. Actually, she posted a story with her glam team unmasked. So if you have COVID, I don't know why you have a glam team.
Did she say she had COVID? I thought it was just like she had a flu, or like she had a cold.
No, she confirmed that she has COVID.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, when your glam squad is there unmasked, interesting, and you look amazing and
obviously
as good as always.
Yeah. I mean, she was sick for like a lot of that season, or sick, but like showed up.
Or did they edit her up?
Well, remember, I mean, she was like in the hospital bed or whatever her like thing was, and then she showed up to Garcelle's birthday, as Sutton eloquently questioned. So like clearly Diana knows how to like get past whatever issue she has and put on a show and look amazing.
Yeah, that's true. I also thought that she was reading off cue cards. She kept looking above, and I was like, is your
like
publicist there like with a gun at your head? What's going on? It was so like robotic and just like stiff.
It could also be the English thing that she was like trying not to season exist and like say things properly. I don't know.
I would usually give her the benefit of the doubt in that scenario, but the way she was looking up really, and her eyes were like moving as if she was reading. So
it did.
I think there was some kind of teleprompter situation, cue cards. I don't know.
I was really upset for Garcelle when she started like, she got so emotional, and she just like, you know, like looked like she was about to cry because it was about her child, and it was such a traumatizing thing to go through. And like first week of high school, like the whole thing was terrible. And like Diana's just like, yeah, well, it happened. My family actually died, so whatever.
Can't you like feel bad for her for 1 second? And the way that Garcelle was so calm and composed during all of that, like if that was me, I would be screaming, yelling. I would storm out. I hats off to Garcelle, because she's a queen and
she's a
handled it with
professional.
such grace.
Yeah. And, you know, people have stormed off before for less.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Kyle is going to leave before the cheers. We saw that in the preview. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people just like don't care. But like she was really keeping it in, and she was keeping her cool. And she was like an amazing professional, as we know that she is. And I think I feel really bad. And I do hope she figures out who has been going after her on social media.
I think she will, because when it's a death threat, the police get involved and trace it. So I'm actually really interested to figure out
it's
if
hate
it's
speech
Diana
and a death
or
threat and
who it is.
I mean, she didn't give her the benefit. She said maybe she just paid for it, but she didn't tell them what to say, and they just like took it from there.
I mean, still horrible, because it's a child that you're attacking, no matter what you're saying.
It was heartbreaking. Like, it was just not cool. And it did not make, like, honestly, Diana did not convince me that it wasn't her.
And the fact that she was so, like, concerned about herself, saying, like, why didn't you white out my name? I was like, this is a child. You're an adult. Why does she need to be thinking about you when her child is being attacked? And then for Kyle to step in, I was like, what's going on here, Kyle? Like, just sit down.
God.
This
Kyle
is not
regretted that immediately. Her face was
so
like,
angry.
she was like, oh my God. I agree.
And I was like, where's this energy defending Kathy when Kathy is getting attacked?
That's what I mean. It's like a little group of like, you know, Kyle, Lisa, Rinna, and Erica and Diana, because she's like, you know, brought in as Lisa Rinna's friend. So like they're all just like kind of suck up to each other and like back each other up, but like they don't like back up anyone else. Like it's very obvious at this point. So I feel like maybe the producers do need to spice up the cast and kind of like divide this like little bully group. Yeah. Because like they're just like not letting anyone in. That's what, like the impression I'm getting. Like it's very high school.
Who do we think they're gonna let go?
Well, probably Diana, because she's like fans 100%. Really don't love her.
I feel like she doesn't want to come back either, which I mean, good riddance.
Yeah, she probably wasn't expecting to be so like disliked, and I feel like it's probably not good for her reputation. And she doesn't seem like she can handle the hate. So I feel like she maybe does not have like the emotional like bandwidth to be on a show like this. And
I don't think Bravo would want to keep up all this like social media hate of her and legal issues because she keeps throwing her lawyers involved in getting them involved in everything. So yeah, I think Andy's gonna say goodbye to her for sure. Yeah, I don't think he likes her either. When she was talking, like his face was like disgusted of her.
Honestly, yeah, I feel like she's just not doing a good job trying to be likable. Like she's not likable. She's not trying. She's just like always trying too hard to act like she's better than everyone, which comes across as very like insecure as opposed to like, oh, you're a boss bitch. Like Kathy's cool without trying and everyone knows who she is and everyone knows she's like amazing and, you know, has all these resources and this wealth. But then like with Diana, it almost comes across as like, wow, you're trying really hard. Like nobody cares. Yeah.
So show-offy and obnoxious.
Yeah,
I wonder if Kathy is going to come back because I feel like she also has issues with conflict and with everything that happened in the last episode and what may happen at the reunion. I don't know if she'll be back. I want her back, but
I feel like if she's not, it would be on her own terms and like she would just be like, I'm done with this. But I feel like maybe she would want to come back to kind of like maybe have like a different, like give people a different like side of her. Yeah. And just kind of like make up for like, you know, whatever perceptions people might have now after this whole thing. Maybe to redeem herself is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. I really hope she does come back. What do we think about Dorit? Because a lot of people say, you know, she doesn't really have a storyline anymore. And a lot of people have been questioning if she's actually going to be brought back. What do you think? I
love her. I think I would miss her if she was let go. I think she brings a lot. She made it with the whole, like the most funnest parts of the show this season were the toothless and the homeless.
Oh my God. And the cheekest wind chime ever.
Exactly. Like she makes the show fun. She's like what I tune in for. I don't tune in for like necessarily the dark drama. I would rather just laugh with Dorit and be like, oh my God, she's so funny. Like, how is she real? I get
exhausted by the drama sometimes. Like, the finale and the reunion already is exhausting me a little bit.
And that's how I feel about Crystal. I just feel like she's draining, doesn't bring anything fun to the show, and doesn't really, like, hasn't found herself on the show. So I feel like if they got rid of her, I don't think anybody would miss her.
Yeah, like, she doesn't really fit in well with the group. I don't think they mesh with her. She's really close with Garcelle and Crystal, but even then...
Garcelle and Sutton, you mean?
Or sorry, Garcelle and Sutton,
Is she?
Yes.
I did not know that.
They're like a little trio, I think.
Maybe it's only because they're all kind of like alienated by the core group. So, like, they kind of have to stick together, but I don't see them naturally, like, being friends. Like, it's weird to me. Like, they don't really seem
there
to
was
mesh.
the drama with Sutton and Crystal in the beginning, but now they said that they've moved on from that and they're good.
Well, that's because they're both very, like, good people, like, nice people. They're bigger people. They always, like, you know, do, like, they let things go. They don't, like, harp on things.
Yeah, they're not like Lisa bringing it up 1,000 times and shoving it in your face.
Oh my God, yeah. She's like once she sinks her teeth into something, she doesn't let go. And like...
I can't.
I'm honestly tired talking about her. I just feel like I can't wait for this next episode. Is it a 2 or 3 part reunion?
I think it's just 2 parts.
I'm so excited. Like, I can't wait to see what happens because I hope they start fresh. I mean, I do hope they keep a lot of the same people, but like I do hope they start with like different issues. Like I'm sick of hearing
something
this.
needs to be changed up. They need to forgive each other and move on because
it's getting very like Housewife of New York style.
Yeah, it's when you're like rehashing the same drama over and over and over again, it gets boring for the viewers. We want to see something
exactly.
else.
More of the homeless but not toothless, please.
Yes. Okay, so what did we think of Jamie Lee Curtis showing up? I thought their reactions were so over the top. They looked like they thought Jesus came into the room. I was like, can you guys relax?
Dying. Even like the Twitter reactions were so funny because they're like, wow, Jamie Lee Curtis did not expect to ever have anything to do with this shit show.
And now she's so intertwined with them somehow. I can't.
And like,
well, she's loving it because it's helping her charity.
She understands their star power, and she understands that they're like, okay, like we need to like they bring a lot to her charities and to her movies. I don't think anybody cared about Halloween movies before. Like they weren't really up there with like Texas Chainsaw and like all these other like Scream. Like they weren't really like cult favorites until Kyle kind of like restarted the franchise. No.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's on Peacock, so you can see that it's like being pushed a little bit by Bravo. But yeah. So she conveniently showed up when it's being released this Friday. Yes. So
I mean, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I think she's a good sport. So
I agree.
I'm enjoying her on it. I do hope she comes more often.
I feel like it should have been like a Watch What Happens Live segment though, because I was kind of like, I want to hear the woman talk, not really Jamie Lee Curtis. You know what I mean?
It's true. It's true. I mean, afterwards, I watched the What Happens Live with Kyle and Chloe Moretz, and I was dying because I had no idea Grace Moretz was such a fan, and she like knew everything, all the drama, had opinions on everything. It was amazing. I was like, whoa.
Oh, I missed it.
I was like, okay, can we like be friends and talk?
Can we have her on the pod?
Yeah, like she was amazing. She was so passionate about it too. She was like, oh my God, Crystal said this. And then like Rinna said this. And like I like what she wore. And I was like, oh my God, I love it.
Amazing. Okay. If you ever want to come on the pod, Chloe Moretz, this is our invitation.
Yes, come discuss the tea with us, please. So any last, before we move on from Beverly Hills, any last notes that you want to discuss? I mean, I know there was the whole Lisa Rinna and the Cancer Institute, which we already talked about last episode. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just happy they said that and put her in her place.
Yeah, honestly, I'm done with that. I think that's all I have on this.
I actually do want to talk about what I thought was so weird was Kyle sending the thief money.
Oh my God.
What is she doing? Why isn't she going to the police? Like, what is happening here?
I think she just really, really wants her sentimental pieces back, right? And she's just like, please, like, I can't replace that. Like, insurance will not, like, replace those things. So I think for her, it was like, whatever, I'll pay. Just, like, give me those irreplaceable pieces. Which, it sounds ridiculous and makes me so mad. It makes my blood boil, honestly. That, like, she's still even giving him money and, like, the whole thing. I hope she gets her stuff back. I do. Yeah,
I think I was a little bit like scared for her though, because she's kind of opening herself up to further burglaries and extortion, because anyone could be watching and be like, oh, so if we rob her, she's not gonna call the police. We can just, get money from her and get her stuff back.
Well, speaking of that whole thing, it's like all these women are on TV. They wear like all these amazing things. Like everyone knows the kind of stuff they have. And yet none of them have security outside their house at night. Like
it doesn't make sense. So and there has been so many robberies.
Yeah. Why
aren't you investing in security? Like, I don't get it.
Regular security is not going to do it. Like you need someone parked outside of your house. I know people that have a lot less that have that. Like I don't get it. It can't be that expensive. It's like a one Birkin.
They need what Anna from BlingEmpire has.
Yes, that's what they need. Because, like, obviously all these people put themselves out and, like, open themselves up to risk. And they're on a show. People know where they live. and LA is super unsafe right now. So like, why would you not like protect yourself and your children? Like, it's so wild to me.
It's pretty stupid, actually. And
like,
they're always like posting live on stories too.
Yeah,
so
where they're
people
going,
know where they
they're
are
away
at all times. Yeah,
it's like very
I'm
unsafe.
scared for them.
I don't even post my real whereabouts, and I don't have
I know.
any.
I feel like that's like the first rule of social media. Yeah,
I know. Like real life people on Instagram like get robbed a lot, and like, you know, they don't even show their faces. They just showed like their like, you know, purse collection or whatever, and like people still end up finding them and robbing them. Like, it's scary.
Yeah. No, it's terrifying. I hope they invest in some security and be a little bit more careful.
Yes. Speaking of Anna Shea, can we briefly discuss BlingEmpire? Because I know we're only like on them.
Yes.
All the episodes are out, but we've only binged like 3 episodes so far. So we'll finish it this weekend. But like so far, it's been really fun.
I love
found another villain. It's such a fun show because it's so over the top and ridiculous. And
my God, they make Beverly Hills look like nothing.
They make
how
like
over the top it is.
They're crazy.
Exactly. I love it.
Like, the levels to this is amazing. So I have a new villain that I love to hate, and that's Kane.
Oh my God, I hate him so much. He is a little shit
to hate him. Yeah, like I know he's like the one, because like I feel like without his shit stirring, it would be a very, very boring show. So he's really starting all the drama and he's making the show, but it's so frustrating to watch because I'm like, you're being such a bad friend.
I think he gets off on it. Like, Mimi at that lunch wasn't even mad at Christine, but he's like, you know, she's a liar.
I love that Christine called it too. She knew he was stirring it up.
She knew. And I love that Dr. Chu like stepped in and like stood up for her. That was so cute.
It was so cute. Like, that's like how a husband is supposed to have your back. Like, it's amazing. Like, I love their whole family. They're so cute. And I feel really bad for Christine, honestly. I feel like everyone bullies her and comes at her because she just tries a little hard.
But like, I don't think they're all like a little bit jealous of her lifestyle. Like when Jamie was saying that Christine is jealous of her, I was like, of what? You and your like dad's money? Christine is more wealthy and has like, she's in a different stage in her life. And she has like her family, her cute husband. What is she supposed to be jealous of?
So I don't think that. I think Christine does have a jealous streak, but not so much jealous, more like insecure. So it comes across as jealous of everyone. Because like the first few, like, was it 1 season or 2 seasons? She was like, you know, she was trying to compete with Anna, and it was coming across as really try-hardy when she's like, oh, this is Louis Vuitton high jewelry. This is Cartier. This is that. And people are like, nobody asked. Like, calm down. Everyone knows you have money. Why do you have to keep proving it? It's a very Diana energy.
I think she humbled herself a little bit since then.
So I think she got so much better.
Yeah, 100%. I love. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go.
I was gonna say I love Anna, but I was a little upset in the first episode when she brought Andrew to the party. Yeah, I was like, "What are you doing? This guy is." He's abusive. He's horrible. I hate him. Why are you bringing him back into Kelly's life? Like, deal with your own shit with him, but what are you doing bringing him back and not without even telling her? That was so fucked up. I hated that.
I think that was shady. I think that was unnecessary. And like, who are you to do that? Like, it was just not cool. And I do feel like she's struggling a little bit this season to have a storyline. I just feel like she doesn't know what to do with herself. It's like very like you know.
That whole scene of her sneaking out of her house.
Like, nobody needs that.
What is going on here?
It was so ridiculous. And like, Kim is just like just as ridiculous. And I feel like those two are lacking storylines.
Yeah. I think Kim also wants to be besties with Anna.
She
so
does.
She can get some of those shopping sprees that Anna goes on. Yeah.
Okay. The way these people gift each other is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I can't.
I mean, I could never.
I mean, I love that. When you have it, you share it. That's cool. And they do it for each other. But like, at this point, it's almost like people have like bad reasons to be friends with someone. It's like they're like fake at this point just to get gifts. Like, I wouldn't trust the like genuineness of these people.
And they're such like over the top gifts that if I was the friend, I would feel like indebted to the other friend and I wouldn't want to accept it.
No, it's true. It's just like, especially like, we know they're not like really like that close in real life, I don't think. So it's just like kind of like for the TV show, it's a little ridiculous. But
yeah, it's a lot of over the top gifts that are unnecessary.
I think it's just like so far the main storyline is that everyone's hates on Christine and kind of bullying her for no reason, honestly. For whatever she said or didn't say. But like what she said, if somebody told her that, she has every reason to react the way she did. And like it's not up to Kane to go and tell everyone that she's like a fake bitch who cried and said Anna was out to get her. Like, I mean,
I do think that came from Jamie.
I do think she's like, yeah, you do?
I do. I don't like her.
Really?
I don't know.
I can sense that you don't. I don't have an opinion on her, honestly. She does seem a little bitchy, but like like a fun way, like a very high school way. I don't get her friendship with Anna.
And that's why I don't like her. Yeah. I think
she's catty.
I think she's jealous of Christine. She's trying to start some drama.
I feel like everyone is at this point kind of jealous of Christine. Like it's weird. Like Kelly, I feel like is being a very loyal friend to Kane, which I don't know if he deserves it yet or not. So far, like they seem to be like genuinely friends. The
whole dating app thing, though, I was like, okay,
oh my God, I would die.
Why isn't she mad at him? Like he's saying that she wants to do threesomes and stuff publicly on a dating profile. I would be so angry. I didn't understand that at all. She was just like, like. That's so funny. I'll still go on this date and be friends with you. I would be like, okay, delete that right now. Who are you? Why are you doing this?
I did think that guy was hot. I thought he was great for her. I'm sad that she didn't like really give it a chance, but I'm proud of her for like, taking time to heal.
I mean, I don't think he was the right guy for her, though. Their lifestyles are very different. He was a little weird. The whole like not paying on the first date thing made me angry.
Oh my God. I was laughing so hard.
For ramen, I'm like, what is going on here?
I was dying because literally I was watching it with my boyfriend and like he was like half watching like on his computer or whatever. And then like at that moment, he like literally his head like did like a 360 and he was like, did he just not pay?
He's just like chilling, sitting there, like looking at the bill. It's so awkward.
Like, did this happen? I was like, I guess it did.
And then it was so weird that he flew out all the way to Cabo, but he wouldn't pay the ramen bill. It's like, did
Netflix fly him out?
Did production pay for this? What's happening here? Did Kane pay for this?
Because I know he didn't. Like, there's no way he did.
Not on his budget.
Yeah, he was giving some energy for sure. I feel like Kelly needs like...
I wasn't a fan.
No, I wasn't a fan of that at all. It's true. I actually didn't pay attention to that part. I was like... I just like blanked during that part. I feel like I was traumatized.
And then also I was like, he seems weird for like... being I guess when he saw her in person and got to know her, but I feel like it was if a guy was coming on a date and he knew that he was talking to another guy the whole time, like wouldn't you as a guy want to leave the date?
Yeah, that's literally what my boyfriend was saying. He's like, wow, so he was catfished by this guy and he's like cool with it. Like
doesn't make sense, but I guess he was attracted to her, so.
Job. He just wants to be on a show. Let him be.
Or maybe he wants a sugar mama.
Yeah, like, I mean, I get it. He has his agenda, I think.
Yeah.
I have to give it to Kelly for seeing right through that.
I mean, I'm just glad she's moving on, so.
Exactly. Okay. Before we like run out of time and this podcast goes for 2 hours, let's talk about Salt Lake City really briefly, because we'll come back to BlingEmpire once we're done watching.
Yes. Wow. This episode of Salt Lake City was so chaotic. I had to like step back after watching it and I was just like, wait, what did I just watch? What just happened? We had Woman throwing alcohol down each other's pants, then going on horses in the same outfit, which I'm just like, okay, that is like an infection
waiting to happen.
Waiting to happen. What's going on here? And then we had a party of them all in lingerie cooking and yelling at each other.
Yeah,
I was like, what is going on here?
Whitney grilling in a thong was my favorite.
Oh my God. I don't think I'll ever get that image out of my mind. I did not.
Nope. I've never been with a group of girls who like wanted to be naked with each other. Like, it's kind of weird to me. Yeah. And like to be dressed like so sexy and like it's just for like the 5 girls there, like it makes no sense to me. And you're on national television. Like,
I would be Lisa in this situation, coming up 100%. In the full pajama set. Like, what's going on?
Like, I don't get it. It was like a really shitty Halloween.
Yeah, it was very over the top. I was like, is JenShah okay? She looked like she couldn't breathe in that corset.
She's just trying to get all the glam out before jail. Just trying to wear all her outfits. That was a very traumatizing party. And you know what? I think Whitney stirs up shit every season. Every event, she stars shit. Like, she just cannot keep her mouth shut.
She gets drunk and she turns into like, she gets drunk and she turns into Nancy Drew and starts causing all this drama. I'm just like, okay, girl, put down the tequila. Like, let's not do this.
Don't know.
Everybody was having a good time until you're just like, wait, I can't keep this to myself.
It honestly is
keep it
so
to yourself.
Contrived. That I'm like, are there producers in your ear telling you, hey, now's the time to start shit. Everyone's having too much fun. Start shit now. Because like it comes
really
out of fucking
like
the blue. It comes out of nowhere. Yeah. And you're like, Whitney, where did that come from? You just said, literally 3 people just told you, don't bring it up. And you're like, hey, guys, let's bring it up.
So let's sit down. Let's all discuss. You said this. You said this.
Like, you talk shit. I'm uncomfortable with the things I was saying and that were said to me. First of all of last season, Angie was your best friend. You were like hating on Lisa. And now you're throwing Angie under the bus for Lisa. Like, what the fuck is going on?
And then she's also saying that she never brought up the jazz tickets comment. And I'm like, you did. There's footage of you saying that to Meredith.
I honestly think she cannot be trusted. If she was my friend, I'd be like, she's a snake. Like,
yeah, two-faced.
Like, I don't know if she just wants like to keep being involved in these storylines so they never fire her, or she just like is bored. Like, I don't get it.
I think it's because she's going through so much shit and she's like taking it out in the worst way possible.
It does seem like it, actually. It's very like, Lisa, I'm going to attack Sutton because my mom died energy.
Yeah, that's exactly
it's dark.
It. And it feels like she's like getting blackout and just like causing shit. And
I felt
it's
very bad.
Not a good look.
No, it's not. I felt really bad for Lisa Barlow because she was like, whoa, where did this come from? I did not expect
She was so blindsided. Yeah.
She was like genuinely hurt and she was like pissed off.
My favorite, though, was Heather's commentary throughout all of this. She's like...
Heather was the MVP.
Well, was it courtside tickets? Because I would have done a blowy for that. I didn't know this nugget.
She's so funny.
I would have given a blowy for a burger. Iconic.
I think she's the funniest person on that show. I love her. And I do love that Meredith actually went into Lisa's room to explain herself. And I feel like that was very kind of her. Yeah. After everything, she felt bad for her.
I really hope they just move on from this drama because it does seem like it's a little bit repetitive. And I really love them as friends. So let's forget. You guys both called each other whores who are having an affair. And you both talked about your financial situation. So let's just call it a day and be friends again.
It's a mystery for both. I have, like, nobody knows.
Otherwise, we're going to see this drama throughout the whole entire season, and I think I'm going to stop watching if that happens.
Honestly, I'm getting bored to tears with the same stuff. Yeah. They need to move on to something more interesting and like invite new people because like this like little circle jerk is like too incestuous at this point, and like there's nothing new coming. And I actually laughed because after that episode, like I actually Googled like what does Meredith Marks' husband do, and then like what does Lisa Barlow's husband do, and those are like very popular searches. Like
Did you get some
wondering.
good answers?
No, it doesn't make sense. Like none of it makes sense.
Now that's a mystery.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so it's a mystery what both of you are, like how both of you have money is a mystery. Okay. Like,
that's a mystery for Whitney.
It is. Oh my God, please. I can't stand it. I'm dying to see her uncover that mystery and be like, wait, before we can eat, let's talk about this.
What does your husband do?
Yeah.
Oh God. I was dying that JenShah somehow in this episode
It's
came
the most
across
calm one.
as, yeah. I was like, okay, so the one who's going to prison is the most normal looking in this
but
situation.
then she like started crying out of the blue when everyone starts yelling.
Yeah.
And she's like, what about me?
She had to make it about herself. Yeah.
I'm like, nobody said anything about you. It doesn't make
She's
sense.
like, this is supposed to be my jail party. What's going on?
This is supposed to be me part is screaming and crying before jail. Y'all stealing my thunder.
She looks like so happy right now on social media. I'm like, girl, do you know that you're going to jail soon?
Like, how long is she going to jail for? Like, what's happening? I forget that she's going to jail because it's so like nonchalant.
And her court date keeps getting prolonged. There's rumors that it's going to be prolonged again. I think it's now in December. But yeah, people are saying that she's trying to get it prolonged even further.
That makes
Just
sense.
like get it over with, though.
But like, yeah, like how long would she be sentenced for? Like, I wonder.
I've heard rumors that it's going to be like around 7 years. So
That is a
long
lot.
time.
Holy, yeah. I would prolong that too.
I mean, though, if it's going to happen anyways, get it over with. Pull a Martha Stewart, you know.
Oh my God, yeah. Seriously, like do it with like dignity, I guess.
Yeah.
2 words for you. Dior boots.
Oh my God. The fact that she was explaining her Dior boots to the horse riders, I was like,
I'm dying.
They did not give a fuck about what she was saying. And she's like, do you know that these are vintage Dior? Do you know? Do you know? I think she planned that whole trip just for the boots.
100%. I was laughing so hard. Like, it was so funny to watch. Like, I recognize what she was referring to, but like, I don't think anybody cares.
Yeah. Oh, Lisa. I love her, but
it's giving BlingEmpire.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I forgot to mention when we're talking about the one part that was so hypocritical to me was when Kane was like, oh, everywhere like Christine goes, she's always like, oh my God, designer this, designer that, as if he doesn't do the exact same thing every fucking
He was like talking about his jacket last episode that we watched.
Everything he says is always like
yeah.
about labels and designers and like just like that's all they care about. And like, I'm sorry, Christine brings it up a lot, but like so do the rest of you.
Yeah, it's giving these glasses are 25,000.
Oh my God, 100%. Can be as iconic as that, but like even like with Jamie and Anna, like arguably 2 people born into like insane wealth are still like, oh my God, is that vintage Galliano? Is that vintage? This
if I
is
have
vintage.
to hear that one more time.
Like nobody gives a fuck. Okay, calm down.
Yeah, that was really annoying.
Like you can be into fashion, and it's actually giving Sutton's first season when she's like Dolce haute couture. Runway Dolce.
If it's not runway, I don't want it.
She was just as unlikable because like nobody cares, and like she stopped doing it and now everybody loves her. Yeah.
So if you're a housewife listening, don't do that.
Like you don't have to be relatable, but you don't have to be insufferable. Like you can love fashion.
Like, I love it the way Dory does it because she is the most like extra and always wears labels and everything, but she's not like,
she looks amazing.
You know how much
she never talks about it. Never talks about it.
Yeah.
If anyone else talks about it, she's always just like, oh, like it's just this little thing, whatever.
It's just like a whole Louis Vuitton runway look, but
she acts like it's not a big deal as she should.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't be a big deal at this point.
Her style is amazing.
I think she also carries herself with class most of the time. Like I never felt like she was like, oh my God, please stop. Like she doesn't make me cringe.
Agreed. Yeah. She's never like too overly dramatic. I mean, unless she's talking about wind chimes, but that's a whole other thing.
It's for charity. It doesn't count.
Yeah. No, I do really love Dorit.
I think she's becoming my favorite, so...
Yeah. I mean, I think Garcelle is my favorite still, but... Okay, should we move on to the Kardashians?
Yes. Okay. So really quickly, not a lot happened this episode. I mean, it was Chris, I guess, wrestling with her mortality, which was very sad to watch. And then it was like Kim's having sex in honor of her grandmother, which was ugh.
It's like, we get it. You have sex. You don't need to bring it up every 2 seconds, which is kind of the vibe I'm getting from Kim and Kourtney nowadays. And I honestly feel like Kim is asexual or something. She's just like into herself. So it makes me cringe when she talks about sex.
It's giving, I lost my virginity. You can't sit with us. Like,
it's very middle school, right?
Yeah. Like, okay, everyone has sex. Nobody cares. Like, we don't need to know details.
Why are you thinking about your grandma during sex?
Also, like, I don't know, like, as someone who was so traumatized by the sex tape and doesn't want her children to identify her as, like, you know, or like have those connotations about her, why are you bringing it up?
Yeah, we want to see interactions with her and Pete, but not those kind of interactions. Like, save that for the bedroom, save that for the Beverly Hills Hotel. That stays there.
Like, it doesn't really seem very, like, genuine. I don't know. It comes across as like, oh, look, we do have sex. Oh my God, we're trying so hard. Like, we're a real couple.
Yeah, it's very awkward. I did not love that comment.
I don't get
it.
And
then Travis and Kourtney are now talking about edging, and he has a song coming out about edging. I'm just like, okay, it's a little bit TMI for me. Yeah, you didn't invent that. So sit down, but also keep that in the bedroom.
Yeah, like, I just don't understand the constant need to, like, talk about your sex life, especially if you're married and together. Like, everyone knows you have sex and you're happy and you're cute. Everybody loves it. But, like, why so many details?
It's too much.
Like, comment and let us know. Does anyone care to know these details? Like, are we the only ones who don't want to know?
Yeah, please let us know.
Yeah, like, I just want to know if there's value in that. Like, if there's a reason why they keep sharing.
I mean, I think it's also like a little bit of the shock value factor for them. It gets them in headlines, I think. But at the same time, nobody wants to know.
But I do want to see, actually, I don't want Kourtney to talk about her sex life. I want her to talk about her work life, because I want to see her go to work.
She's barely on the show.
Yeah, like, talk about your work ethic, because that's more interesting to me, because, like, everyone, like, infers that she doesn't have one, so I'm just so curious.
Yeah, and oh my God, the Variety interview.
Oh my God.
Did you see how when Kim was saying the work thing, she was kind of looking at Kourtney?
I thought that the whole time when it came out. I was like, oh my God, they're, like, fully looking at Kourtney, like, yeah, like...
Okay, and so did you also notice that they took out the part where it says, seems like nobody wants to work these days? They totally took out that part because I think it sounds worse than the, like, get your ass up and work. They completely edited it out as if, like, we don't
Well, they didn't want to remind
know the whole
people.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, everybody knows. Like, it's a huge meme. It was
I do also think
for like
that
a month.
She was like feeling like really thrown by it for like, I don't know. I just felt like her reaction was like, why? Like, why do you care what people are saying? Like, yeah, people are gonna pick apart everything you say for years. Like, everyone knows that. I don't know how she was so shocked.
It's so out of touch though. So, I mean, how can you be shocked?
It's like, I mean, she was like traumatized by this whole PR disaster. And it just was kind of refreshing to see that she cared so much.
Yeah. No, I think it got to her for sure, because she was like, I don't know if I'm built for this anymore. But I didn't get the apologetic side of her that I thought I would see when she was going to be talking about it. So it seemed like they were trying to. Yeah. But she didn't really like apologize.
Well, because I think she stands by her comments, maybe. which I don't think her comments are that bad if they're in context. Like if like she's like, obviously I'm not talking about every woman, but like, you know, I think her explanation was that like she had a point, but like it didn't come across.
Because, but when you're saying something like that and
she was
you
too
know
general.
what you come from, you have to be careful about what you're saying, because it's going to come across in a bad way.
I wasn't bothered by her comment because I thought she was talking about it in relation to her family, because they do work a lot. And like, yes, their work is like, you know, different than most people's work. It's not like a 9 to 5 that makes you want to kill yourself. But it's like still like I watch them, like I watch their days like on social media. You can tell what time she wakes up, what time she goes to bed. She's always posting. She's always promoting something. She's always like launching new things. Like she keeps adding on to her busy stacked, like, you know, empire. So like, yeah, you can't say she's lazy. She works a lot. And I think what she means got lost in translation.
I don't think she's lazy at all. I think she does work really hard, but what she's saying is basically like you can do it too, almost, and it's like not everybody has the same exact resources that you have,
platform and ability to launch a million businesses. Yeah, no, 100%. That part was
it's automatically going to come across poorly.
I think she thinks like if I made it, anyone can. But like, okay, well, my best friend wasn't Paris Hilton. Like,
my stepdad wasn't Bruce Jenner. My dad wasn't one of the biggest lawyers in Hollywood.
Like, I do think they kind of gloss over the nepotism part. Just because their dad didn't give them any money, but like he gave them a name. So like, it's still, a name is a lot. They were still like well off though. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Even though in their minds, like I was actually going to say, like, you know, do you remember reading like the Kardashian Confidential, their like biography from years ago, and like all their like interviews like after that, they were basically saying how like they were like, you know, basically not the cool rich ones in Beverly Hills. They were like the more loser family because like they didn't have as much as like the Hiltons or the Richies or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, being like the less like the least wealthy in Beverly Hills is still being more wealthy than anyone else anywhere else.
You're still the 1%, honey.
Yeah, like just because you have this like chip on your shoulder because you were like maybe like you had to be Paris's assistant does not mean
clean a few closets.
Yeah, doesn't mean you started from the bottom.
Yeah, no, it's very out of touch, but I mean, it's hard I feel like it's hard for them to get it because that's just like what it's just their reality.
That's what they were born into. Exactly. It's kind of like what Hailey Bieber was saying in like her like last interview. She was also mentioning that she was born into this famous family that it's not like she can't do anything about it, you know? And then she married this superstar. Like sometimes you can't be relatable even if you try.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Kathy Hilton, not relatable, doesn't try to be amazing.
No. She just like kind of owns it and she's not trying too hard. And she's like, oh, this is not in my universe.
I'm not going to try to go down.
Exactly. Well, I feel like this week there was a lot of like stuff that got started that we need to like finish watching and like see other episodes to like continue, I guess, forming our opinions about it. So I can't wait to do that next week.
Yes, I'm so excited. We're gonna watch some more BlingEmpire. There's gonna be a new episode of the Kardashians. There's another Potomac episode out. We didn't even get to that today, but we're gonna get to that next week. There's another Beverly Hills reunion episode, Salt Lake City. It's gonna be a stacked week, and then there's just like all the other pop culture stuff that happens. So we're gonna be busy. Get excited.
Yes. Hope you enjoyed our second episode. Let us know your thoughts as always. Let's talk in our DMs, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, see you guys. Bye, besties. Hope you loved gossiping with us.